cat interviews at Uber, Confluent, Indeed, and many, many more companies. I've seen it all. After countless hours on the other side of the table, I know exactly what top companies are looking for, especially in NLD. In this course, I'll share the insider blueprints, what to focus on, especially key design patterns, how much multi-threading, very important, counter question, traps, and how to tackle them confidently. This course is structured, practical, and tailored on what companies are looking for right now. Let's get you interview ready right now. So in the last lecture, we saw about factory design pattern. Now we will check what is abstract factory pattern. Now imagine that now you have multiple car brands, but there are a lot. Let's say 20 car brands. And obviously each car brand, which means obviously, making the corresponding car or vehicle creation for it, each of them actually is very big, at least 20 lines of code. Then how will you write the same code? Let's say by using factory, which we saw in the previous step, is I will have individual car, let's say Honda, Toyota, BMW, and then I will have a vehicle factory, car factory, which will create a vehicle for me based on the brand. Okay, if it's Honda, it's Toyota, it's BMW, then I will correspondingly create a car. Now I told, imagine that each object creation is 20 lines of code because obviously the logic can be anything. Here it is plain and simple, but again, it can be literally any logic for creating an object. So if it's imagining if it's very big, and also in future, the interviewer asks me, can you have it for more car brands? Which means the follow-up says that please add more car brands. What I will do? I will start adding more car brands. But again, as I told, that each object creation is let's say 20 lines of code. This is also 20. So technically, 20 car brands, each having 20 lines of code, you are having now only you are having 400 lines of code in just one class where you are just creating a vehicle, which is a vehicle factory or a car factory. Is it good? Not really, because obviously the more car brands we add, the more complex logic it becomes. Obviously, the code will be very hard to maintain and extend. That's the issue. And obviously, it will exploit or it will violate our open close principle because we say that anything should be open for extension but closed for modification, which means that I should not necessarily go again and again and keep on modifying this specific thing. Although many times you will see that for small changes it is good to change existing class. But as I mentioned, that if I have a dealership in which I can have let's say 100 brands, so I cannot come and again and again keep on changing this, right? I have to think of much better thing. That's better thing is abstract factory, which says that creation of little objects, like different car brands, I can do without specifying the concrete class directly. What I mean by that is I will create separate factories for each car brand, and these factories will have corresponding logic, creation logic. And again, this is more scalable and flexible. What I mean by that is I will have a vehicle factory, and then I will say, okay, Honda factory, BMW factory, Toyota factory. And again, in future, if you ask me any other, let's say Ford, okay, I will have that. Let's say, Ferrari, I will have that. So any new brand being added, I'm simply having one more factory itself, which will simply implement a vehicle factory. Now, you might ask, Aryan, but what about the actual car? Yes, I can do it. So I can have, a simple Honda that will be created. Or again, if you want to go more deep and, for let's say if it's, Suzuki, then I can have different cars also inside it. And that I can have it as a factory. So this can act as a factory and this can act as an abstract factory. That is the thing which I can leverage, which will help me that any in future near future if I have 20 car brands, I will have 20 different classes for it. And for each car brand, if I have multiple cars in it, or even if let's say you want to have one logic of car, let's say Honda will have their own logic of car, okay, I can have just one Honda as object creation. If you want a different object creation for different brands inside each car itself, or inside each inside each car brand, you will have different models object creation separately. You can do it by a factory itself, as we did in the last lecture. So that is the beauty of using abstract factory. Again, I'll show you the code as well, but this is the idea. The idea is that I'll abstract it, which means I'll hide the complex details and only expose what is necessary, which ultimately also helps us in saying that if all these object creations have something in common, then I can maybe put it somewhere at the top itself. Let's see the help of code. that what we are trying to say here or what we will do. Same way, let's say I have Honda, I have Toyota, I have BMW. Imagining right now I have put these brands as my main classes. I can have their individual cars as well. That is the extensibility portion. You have to think one step ahead, right? Okay. Now we will have a vehicle factory. Now I will have a Honda factory, Toyota factory, BMW factory. Did you see that now I am not using a factory in which I am putting up in the same piece? No, I am having a different class altogether for different brand of cars. And that's the thing that in future, if Ferrari comes in, I'll just put up a different class for it, and I will not have to violate my open close principle. But still, at the same time, where's the actual factory of code? This is the actual factory, right? This, let's say if I have Honda factory, I can just simply call this create vehicle and I'll get a Honda car. Now again, as I was telling that if in Honda, I can have multiple car models as well. Let's say for Baleno, I want a different, again, although it's a Suzuki brand, but still, let's say for Baleno, I want a different creation logic. For Wagner, I want a different one. For Creta, I want a different one. Again, Creta is for Hyundai, but still, you get the gist, right? For different models itself, if I want a different creation logic, I can have that inside my that brand's factory, which you saw in the last lecture. That if else condition, if else if, that I can do inside one of these factories itself. And that's how I can make my code more modular, more readable, and more scalable. Now, just as an example, I will have Honda factory, and again, this will create a vehicle. Again, as I mentioned, I can pass in the car name as well. This will help me to create an object for that specific model, right? Again, I can change things in the model as well. I can make it one more step deep, but still, that's the high level idea of how I can extend this piece of code next level. So, what's the benefit of this? Obviously, you will see that it will help us in flexibility, maintainability, and also decoupling, because now I have different car brands which are decoupled from each other, not just on the same code. And obviously, I will have very easy way to create multiple car brands and even multiple classes or multiple car objects inside them as well. Although right now I have showed you just Honda one, just for BMW one, just for a Toyota one. But again, you can have multiple Hondas inside my Honda factory. I can have multiple car creations inside the Honda factory as well, based on any criteria. It can be name, it can be just by default as well, anything. And again, the best part is reusability of code and also maintainability. Now, what we just simply create a new factory for any new car brand. That's a simple thing. If any new car brands comes up, I'll get a new factory for it. If I want, let's say next time Ferrari, I'll create a new factory for it, and then I will not have to change anything in my existing piece of code, neither here nor here. This will help me in maintaining that open close principle which we saw in the previous section. Now, again, just giving the advantages very quickly, although we have seen it multiple times, that it is easy to extend. Multiple car brands can come up, and again, in the existing car brand as well, if I want to add some cars, I can do the same process of factory there as well. I will have cleaner and more maintainable code, yeah, and this will actually have a consistency that all products will belong to a factory and are related and compatible. And that's the beauty of keeping things under one roof. Now, again, as we saw in the last example as well of factory, we have similar examples here, that cross-platform UI libraries. Here, rather than having UI components separately for defining abstract factory pattern, I will say, okay, Windows UI, Mac UI, Android UI, and then individually it can have things inside it. Same way, for database connections, I can have MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB. Again, inside it also I can have different things. Same way for game development as well, similar thing. Again, it is just that if you want to make things more modular, obviously you can go about and try abstract factory itself. Although factory would work, but still, obviously, if the code becomes so huge, then obviously it will be violating any other different design principle. So you will have to go ahead with using abstract factory if the code becomes very long, which means when the same class is being modified again and again, right? Okay. Lastly, anything you want to say as a last step? The thing is that abstract factory design pattern is Mostly not you will see in interviews, because again you will not be making multiple factories there. You will be using only factory design pattern. Abstract is mostly used in very big code bases, right? But again, in an interview you will never encounter this thing, this abstract factory. Again, when I say encounter, you can purposely put it there but not required. That's the thing what I want to tell here. And also it is hugely designed to handle families of related product. As you can see, different car models are there. Obviously, you might ask, Aryan, if there's a car dealership, then it also has, some employees. But it's an employee, right? Its interface will be something different. It will be employee factory. So if I come up, here it is a vehicle factory. So that will have all the vehicles. Then I will have employee factory if I want something different. So it should be of the same. Again, this is more of OOPS concept, not of abstract, but still, you will be having inside a related genre of products. And again, this is essential for very complex systems. Again, when I say complex, in an interview or in a normal LLD problem, you will not encounter that complex systems that you will end up with abstract factories and pattern. But still, you can think of this, you can tell the interviewer, but don't jump into it. It's hard to write this big code, and please refrain and stick to a main problem which you have, and obviously focus on that main problem. And again, you can tell interviewer, but don't jump onto implementing it because it will take time and you don't have time in an interview. Cool. Let's see next. Builder and product. This is very important. And make sure that we hit the like target of 250 likes. Bye bye. Take care.